Well, hey guys, as we navigate this new normal that we're in right now, I wanted to speak to community, to small groups. And over the history of the church, community and the idea of coming together to encourage one another is just inseparable from Christianity. And even as I think about a lot of the New Testament letters, Paul found himself cut off from physical contact with other believers. And so many of the New Testament books we have were letters that Paul wrote from prison. And you see his heart in there. You see how much he longed to be with them, but you see his passion to pray for his friends, for these other believers that were in places like Philippi, Colossae, and different places, Thessalonica. You see his love that he had for them, and he did whatever he could. He knew he could pray for them. And he also knew at times he'd have messengers would come to him and he would send a letter that would share his thoughts, share his love for them through that letter that would be delivered. You fast forward throughout history, if the church couldn't meet in public because of persecution, they'd have to shift to underground. I remember going to China several years ago and had an opportunity to meet with an underground church. It was a church that secretly met in a hotel room, kind of a conference room. And it was a bunch of believers gathered together in this small room, and yet they were there to encourage each other. They found creative ways to continue to build community, to practice the one another's, to encourage each other. And so we're in a season where other Christians have walked through different challenges. We have the challenge of not being able to physically gather together, but I am 100% committed, and I hope you'll join me, that's not going to stop the church. We are committed to finding creative ways to continue to encourage each other, to continue to pray for each other, to continue to reach out, even if it's through a phone call, it's through a text message, whatever. We need those points of contact more than ever right now. And so this is what this page is about. We are trying to transition our small groups to come alongside of them and do whatever we can to help them go virtual, go online, do small groups in a new way. Now, for some of us, we're very comfortable with technology. This feels like a pretty smooth transition, no problem. For others, this is very stressful, and we just want to acknowledge that. And we want to do whatever we can to help you. And so on this page, you'll see some detailed instructions where Christy has put together some tutorial videos. We've looked through a lot of different online platforms and video conferencing, and we have test-driven the Zoom platform. We feel like it's the most user-friendly and the most practical for us to use. So we're advocating for that one. So we've put some tutorials on here on how to set it up, how to work it. You're going to see a little interview with Joe McKinney, who has put this into practice with his small group already, and he's going to share some tips about how it worked and maybe some things to avoid. But we want to do everything we can to make sure you're equipped to continue to meet together. As a small group leader, as a person that has influence with others, we need you. People need you. They need that point of contact. They need to know that you're praying for them. They need that outlet just to have a real honest conversation. Like, that's what makes small groups a beautiful thing anyway. It's those people that when they ask us how you're doing, we can be real, we can be honest. That doesn't go away. In fact, it intensifies even more in the season we're walking through. So please look over this resource we put together for you. Please reach out, please call us. We'll do whatever we need to do to help make sure you can continue to meet together and be community. You know, we're also looking at maybe this is an opportunity for new people who maybe they have extra time on their hands or they're working from home. Maybe they're desperate for community. And so we're exploring even, can we launch some new online communities for a season to at least get people connected. So we're going to be exploring a lot of those things and are hopeful that God's going to use this difficult situation to actually further the gospel and bring the hope of Christ to even more and more people. So thank you so much for your patience, for your willingness to flex and be creative with us as we want to continue to encourage one another.